Good afternoon and welcome to the ELPS recognition reception. We're really excited that the rains that we all saw this morning as we were heading into the different buildings have now dissipated. We have some great sunshine, and before I get going too far, I want to just give a special thanks to the John Michaels Jazz Band out there. If we can, round of applause. And for all the planning and behind-the-scenes work to all the members of the ELEA Collaborative Committee. If we can give them a round of applause too, please. So, welcome. Now that everybody's found a comfortable seat and are enjoying some of the refreshments still, that's good to see. This gives us an opportunity each year to take a moment, and I think this year maybe more than other years, to pause, exhale, and just focus in on some incredible individuals, some incredible service that they've provided the East Longmeadow Public Schools, and more importantly, the students and families of the East Longmeadow Public Schools, and just celebrate that. Celebrate what we do. It's rare that we get that opportunity throughout a school year just to exhale, focus for a moment, and celebrate what we do. And in this case, just some extraordinary individuals. So I'm glad you're all here to do that with us, and welcome. And I'm going to introduce, sadly for the last time as ELEA president, Mr. Eliel Gonzalez.
Thank you, everyone. I want to first of all acknowledge also Cindy Card from the East Longmeadow High School Family Consumer Science Department for all the wonderful preparations and food. Can we have a big hand for Cindy? This being my last public event as ELEA president, it's only fitting that I get to introduce my last reflection speakers for this event, who is also retiring after 45 years of service to the East Longmeadow Public Schools. She has done amazing work here in East Longmeadow, and she's an even better friend, Dr. Joanne Welch.
I always have a visual aid. Thank you, Eliel, and thank you to the ELEA for always providing us with such a beautiful and meaningful event to celebrate our staff. I feel very privileged to stand here today to honor my colleagues, and I'd like to extend my own congratulations to the retirees as well as everybody who's celebrating a milestone. Everyone in this room should celebrate the role that they have played in supporting the children in our district. Regardless of our individual role, whether we're a classroom teacher, specialist, a therapist, a nurse, a coach, a counselor, a bus driver, an administrator, a secretary, lunch staff, or a custodian, all of us have played a meaningful part in the education of one or more of our students. In college, 45 years ago or more, I had a professor, Dr. Harriet Martyr, and she was somewhat notorious. Something she said once has resonated and stayed with me, which is that education and schooling are not synonymous terms. And since everyone here today has played a part in the education of some of our students, today we are all teachers. There's many symbols befitting the teacher: the apple, the lamp of learning, the owl with a mortarboard. But today I'd like to reflect on another symbol of our profession: the bag. That's one of mine. Every teacher has at least one. Some teachers prefer to carry large bags, big and cavernous. Some prefer to carry a series of smaller ones, categorized and sorted by use. Gordon carries a backpack. Some bags are fancy and expensive, and others also carry groceries. Some carry lunch, and I cannot wait to throw that bag away. Some have wheels, which is a welcome accommodation, but all teachers carry bags. And today I'd like to talk about some of the contents of those bags. So one bag carries our tools. These tools are the skills and strategies that we all need and use to bring the educational experience to our students every single day. In these bags, we find our pedagogy. We find the tips and tricks we need to encourage reading or to teach math facts. We have tools to engage struggling students or to recognize students who might be struggling. We have tools to support fluent speech and fine motor skills. We have tools that show us how to make music or how to excel on the playing field. We have tools to share and to pass on to parents, and we have tools to make an anxious child feel more comfortable or to support a struggling learner. We have our own tools to ignore what is inappropriate. Some of these tools we were taught, and some of them we simply learned, but our tool bag is very deep and very versatile. We have another bag that carries our supplies. And this bag also carries our generosity, because the supplies that we carry are generally not for us. But they are intended to be used willingly and lovingly. So our bag of supplies is stocked with what you might expect: paper clips, crayons, in my day, spiral notebooks, highlighters, excuse me, Post-it notes and so forth, but there's a lot more in that supply bag. There's Kleenex for wiping tears and smudgy faces. There are EpiPens, Band-Aids, and medications, masks, wipes, and hand sanitizer to keep everyone safe, personal care items for the children that need them, extra lunch and snacks, the occasional $20 bill to be given out judiciously, hats, gloves, and mittens, treats for special occasions and prizes, birthday cards, and an unending supply of patience. But we all know teachers always bring extra. The third bag only has one item in it, and that's a scale. We carry this because we balance so many things: family commitments, needs, relationships and friendships, homemaking and housekeeping, time for ourselves. We balance our families, professional commitments, personal educational endeavors, college courses, PLCs, IEP meetings, paperwork, faculty meetings, sporting events, lesson planning, and school committee meetings. The scale is rarely even or balanced, and sadly, sometimes we overlook self-care. Another bag is full of memories. We remember our own loved ones who have brought us to this place. We remember the days we laughed and the days we cried. We remember our mentors, such as Diane Bernash, who was mine. We remember milestones, successes, and failures. We remember the students we have lost. God bless you, Alex. And the colleagues who have also passed on. In my memories bag, I carry Heather Quinn, Becky Leckberg, Marie Daigle, Judy Fletcher, Erwin Kierson, Rachel Fleming, Coach Tobias, Leanne Morrissey, Peter Smith, and all of you. We remember our parents and the sacrifices they have made, and sometimes it's fun to unpack this bag, and sometimes it's not, but sometimes we just smile. And of course, we always carry a bag that contains love. We couldn't be here if we didn't keep that bag very close by. And every once in a while, we really need to examine the contents of that bag and make sure we're still in the right place. And the love bag is usually very untidy because it has a lot of grit in it. And the last bag is empty because we need to save room for what is yet to come. We'll certainly pick up more tools in our own professional journey. We'll keep gathering supplies, even if it's only because we like to shop for them. We'll continue to build memories with each other and with our students, and we'll carry the items that we need to remind us that we matter and we need to take care of ourselves. That's a big bag and hopefully not too heavy. And the thing about bags is that we can't always see what's inside of them. So our students carry bags too. And we need to remember that even though even the prettiest bag might be carrying something we didn't expect to see. So please remember two things. Everything that weighs you down is not necessarily yours to carry. And if you carry a bag, an adventure and a journey is always inevitable. Thank you.
Thank you, Joanne. Have another round of applause for Joanne, please. Sadly, my backpack has no snacks. A lot of hand sanitizer, though, and a few masks.
Yeah, and mine is just full of it.
We are changing up just a little bit. We are going to recognize our Hall of Fame inductee at this point, and so I would like to introduce Judy Bates, who's going to introduce the presenter of our Hall of Fame inductee.
Good afternoon and welcome. It's my honor to introduce Pat Bean, which is really a person we don't have to introduce. She's pretty famous in our schools. But she retired in 2007, and she's retiring again in 2022. So welcome, Pat Bean.
Thank you very much. I don't have any props with me. If I did, can you guess what it might be? It is my pleasure to announce that Mrs. Adeline Wilk is going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. They told me I have 5 minutes to talk about her, but it would take much longer than 5 minutes to get through what this woman has meant to me, other people, and the school. Adeline Wilk, wife, mother, amazing teacher. Mrs. Wilk was here from, math teacher from 1962 to 1987. And the people who nominated her, myself, being a graduate of 64, Mary Ellen Lockhart, graduated of 66. She went on to Vassar, UMass, and got her doctorate. Chris Brown, 85. Trinity College, came out with his master's. And apparently, Mrs. Wilk appeared up at Mount Holyoke, or was it, what private school? He went for Mount Herman. Here's Chris coming off the football field, and there's Mrs. Wilk checking up on him. How you doing? I didn't see you coming down to Tennessee to check on me. But that's okay, because you were home raising 4 beautiful children. A couple words that would describe Mrs. Wilk from the other 2 people who nominated her, myself and other colleagues. Organized, straightforward, kind, caring, accepting, honest, accessible, understanding, patient. And I'm sure there's a lot more, but those are ones that really come to mind when we think about her. She was class advisor for many years. She was mine in 64, and she might have been all the way through. but you would be out on the field playing a sport, and there she is, cheering you on. I don't think I would have gotten to where I am. She tutored me in geometry many, many nights on Spear Road. And you know when you come home from college and you want to go see somebody who means something to you? Right over to the Wilk House. I thought I wouldn't get emotional, but I am. It's just a real privilege to be able to speak on her behalf and know the impact that she had on hundreds of students that came through. So at this point, Mrs. Wolf, before I completely break down, if you would like to come up and say a few things. Oh, it's going to be really hard to take these. Oh, I got it. Oh, look, isn't it great? Oh, it's this way. Very nice, and look, it's engraved on the top.
Thank you, sir.
Podium is yours.
It's such an honor to get this award for doing something that I just truly love doing. I was so lucky to be a teacher, and I was so lucky to be hired at East Long Meadow High School. I loved every minute of it. It's been such a privilege. I hope you can hear me. My voice is going. Pat mentioned the senior class advisor, and that gave me an opportunity to know virtually every one of the seniors. And many of them I didn't have in class, but it was such fun to know all of them too. I'm really quite overwhelmed by this. And I want to say thank you to my students who nominated me, Pat, and the others. And I want to thank my family for making the trip to come and share this with me.
Family, could you stand up, please? No. Douglas, Gregory, Jonathan, Allison, Dee, Janet, Jennifer.
Yeah, some of my friends are here too, and they've traveled. Janet Kerr taught here for many years, and she came to share this day with me. How much of an honor is that? I am so thrilled. Thank you. Thank you.
We have another round of applause for Adeline. certainly makes us remember why we all do this. And that's the incredible value of just taking a moment like today and recognizing why we do this and some extraordinary individuals. So thank you, Adeline, for all that you've given ELPS. Now we get to recognize individuals who have hit certain incredible marks of service, thresholds of service. We do this, we generally go down, or we go up, I forget. We'll start with the longest tenured. Our first up is Joanne Welsh at 45 years. Picture time is where we pretend that we haven't been eating throughout the entire pandemic. Next up, at 40 years of service, Robert Altieri. Now we move to 35 years of service. First up is Maria DeMichael. Next up, at 35 years of service, is Karen Sears. Moving to 30 years of service. First up, Diane Callahan. Continuing at 30 years of service, Cindy Hutchinson. And rounding out 30 years of service, Jill Rogalski. Okay. Moving to 25 years of service. First up, Silvana Ayala. Next up, Lori Figueiredo. Next up, in 25 years of service, Derek Long. Next up, 25 years of service, hoping someone from this category is here. Roger McMinn. Okay. Okay, still looking. 25 years of service, Margaret Pietranero. Okay. 25 years of service, going once. Next up, Julie Stark. Yay! Yay! Thank you for being here.
Yes, it's an honor.
Mrs. Wilk, rule 1 of teaching, show up every day? I'm assuming that's rule 1. Don't be late, rule 2.
I'll go 2 for 2 now.
Okay. 25 years of service. Mrs. Stark started us off with actually being here. Thank you. Susan Thomas. All right. There we go. And rounding out 25 years of service, Beverly Tisdale. All right. Moving to 20 years of service. First up, Janice Cleany. All right. How to start us off well, Mrs. Cleany?
4 for 4.
Our next honoree, 20 years of service, Deb Duville. Okay. Next honoree, 20 years of service, Carrie Armergian. Okay. Next up, 20 years of service, Joanne Grimes. Okay. Really thankful Mrs. Cleany was here. Just want to say that. Next up, 20 years of service, J.P. Kiernan. Okay. Our next honoree for 20 years of service, Diane Longo. Okay. Next honoree, 20 years of service, Leanne Musette. All right, there we go. Okay, our next honoree, 20 years of service, Eddie Polk.
Like a tower.
I know. Teacher with his 2 students. Our next honoree, 20 years of service, Bonnie Rivera. Okay, and rounding out the honorees for 20 years of service, Bill Sears. Moving into our retirees, I'd like to send them off with not only love and adulation, but also a nice gift. Starting us off, Rebecca Ayala. Next up, Sharon Bernard. Joanne Brown. All right. Okay. Okay. Be instructed to congratulate first, take the picture, and then begin.
Thanks for everything you've done. Okay, picture first. All right. I think I know what it is.
I think it matches the theme, Joanne. It seems to. Next up, Kathy Saletti. Our next retiree, Susan Chacoin. Next retiree, Diane Davitt. Next retiree, Carol Dunn. Our next retiree, Charlene Ferguson. Okay, I know you're here. Our next retiree, Eliel Gonzalez.
I'll give myself a good
Okay,
a picture.
we have to do a picture.
Just a picture. This is fun.
Our next retiree, Linda Gorman. Our next retiree, Charlene LaChapelle. Our next retiree, Donna Moore.
We got this done. We got this. We got it. Don't use the luggage till next week.
Our next retiree, Paul Nesbitt. No such thing as a fake retirement. It's a fake retirement. Picture first. Our next retiree, Kelly Phillips.
Al's not coming to pick you up. You got to bring with that.
Our next retiree, Sue Rasico. Our next retiree, Billy Tangretti. Our next retiree, Susan Thomas. Our next retiree, Beverly Tisdale.
Second picture for the
Maybe not in retirement, though.
No, maybe not.
And rounding out our honorees, Joanne Welsh.
Final picture, final picture. One more picture.
Beautiful. We have another round of applause for our retirees. What's the saying? We have 5 days until you get 6 Saturdays and 1 Sunday. Is that the saying? That's the way it works. So, 5 days. That's exciting. But I want to thank all of you for being here, taking a moment to celebrate these incredible individuals and some incredible marks in their career. And we want to thank all of you for what you do for ELPS and give another round of applause for all of our honorees. That ends our program. Pictures, there might be food left over. Please socialize, hang out as long as you like.